Hello everyone, and today it's just me. We started this video together with Sadie, but she started crying. She's afraid of more critiques and bashing and negative comments. I'm gonna try to answer the Q&A. We promised you a Q&A, and it's just me, so I'll do my best to answer these questions for you guys. First and foremost, I just wanna thank everybody who was supporting me, and they were very, very sweet. But I was very hurt reading all the bad comments about Sadie, and that hurts me a lot. So for those people who support me, but at the same time bash on Sadie, it's hurtful. It's very hurtful for me. There is so much going on behind the scenes that people cannot see, and people will never see. Like, not even our closest relatives know what is going on in this relationship, because just me and Sadie know it. And the interaction we have in front of the camera doesn't say it all. So people judge us, based on that. And it's always unfair. I understand that we didn't meet your expectations of this couple, me and Sadie, being together forever and ever. Actually, nobody knows what it's gonna be. Sadie's intention by making that video was just to be, just to give you an update of how this relationship is been going. There is a moment of our life we're going through a tough time. She's always compelled to give you the truth, okay, and not just faking a beautiful rosy and give you a rosy picture of what is going on. Judgment doesn't help. Never. Our intention of making this video, this Q&A, it was for those people who support us, for those genuine people who understand how complicated, how complex is to be in a relationship. And as much as we shared our life and the way we are with you guys publicly, so that we can help people also to understand themselves in the way we are onto this journey of understanding ourselves. So it's almost like an experiment, if you will. We understand that your bad comments are also part of these realities. Otherwise, we would shut down the channel and just, shelter ourselves, and, there's no one anymore who is judging us. And we don't want to do that, actually. So let's get to the questions. I'll do my best to answer them. And if Sadie feels at one point to come in and join me, it would be nice. So let's do it. 1111 for whoever believes in double digits and things like that. What is a fond, non-romantic memory that you can look back on to remind yourselves of the value in your partnership, even though it wasn't meant to be romantic forever? That's a very sweet question, and I like it. I'm not so good with coming up with memories right on the spot, because I haven't read these questions previously. So, and I can say that I have a lot of fond non-romantic memories, like a lot. Sadie and I share a beautiful friendship, so there are plenty of those fond non-romantic memories. The fact that this person is asking this just to remind ourselves of the value of this relationship, this is something that we never stop having. And even if Sadie had a crush on somebody else, and it feels like she's forgetting what she's having within this relationship from me as her partner. But maybe she's forgetting in that moment, because you are in that bubble of the crush bubble, right? Everybody felt that. They know what I'm talking about. That doesn't mean that when they get sober, it's almost like being a little bit drunk, but when you get sober, you don't forget the value. I had doubts, I must say. I had doubts, she's forgetting how valuable this relationship is in certain moments, going through those moments in those days, not gonna lie. And that's why I was sad. The saddest part was for me losing losing the attachment, because I'm attached to Sadie. Losing that attachment. There were moments in those days where I could, it's incredible how Sadie was able to actually make me feel that value, the value that I have in this relationship, even if she was going through the bubble of having a crush on somebody else, and sometimes even detaching from me. But then she was going into waves because she was also processing her and processing her emotions. But as soon as she would see me sad, it's incredible the level of empathy she had for me, and she would feel sad, feeling the sadness. I'm not saying like felt it, like I don't know how to explain this. I just don't know. I feel that just in that moment, even if there is the perspective of us breaking up and everybody and each one of us taking a different path, my connection with Sadie went a step further, and it was amazing. To give you a brief answer to this, we never lost sight of how much valuable this relationship is for the both of us. Is there anything you would have done differently in communicating the end of the relationship? Any advice to people who are coming to terms with the end of a relationship but don't know how to talk to their partners? That's also a very, very nice question. Very interesting. I wish I had Sadie now here with me because she would give you the right answers like on the spot. I mean, if you mean communicating the end of a relationship to the public, we could have done a better job since, it was abrupt. And if you come to the end of the relationship and you haven't had any communication prior to the end, then that's like just review your relationship. Because if you abruptly come to an end of relationship and your partner didn't know anything about it, so then there's a problem over there. So I would actually advise people to communicate right away when you feel that you want something else. And we've been having this conversation with Sadie forever, for years, back and forth. So that's why Sadie said a natural ending. So it must feel organic anyway. Where to from here? Staying in Italy together, or do you all have plans to travel elsewhere? We are staying in Italy together for now. So that's the plan. We're going both to Canada and we're coming back both to Italy. So that hasn't changed. The future plans haven't changed at all. How would you like to be in each other's lives in the future? Well, now we are working on this friendship, and we don't know where it goes. We're just working on this friendship, which what happened made me understand many things, and I was in that area of complacency for so long because I felt that Sadie would, stick to me no matter what, and I was wrong. If you are in a comfort zone and in a complacency zone, like Sadie will make sure that you're gonna slap out of it, okay? And I really appreciate this aspect of her. I really do. So there is somebody a few years ago, and she told me something very interesting. She told me, and she's an intuitive psychic medium, and I was asking her, I'm in this new relationship with this girl, and she immediately told me, she didn't know Sadie, she immediately told me, if you're not in your heart, there's not a chance. You have no chance with Sadie in the future. And the amount of transformation that I went through, it was amazing, because that's what I was looking for. I'm not in this relationship because I want to be with Sadie. I'm in this relationship because I want to be in my heart. And I told you guys so often, and I changed my life. I changed so many things for myself. It's almost like Sadie represents almost a barometer that you use to measure temperature, and I used to measure, am I really in my heart or not? Am I kidding myself? Did I do enough? Sadie represents that for me, for sure. That sounds like I'm using her as a barometer. No, please don't go there. It's just a kind of metaphor to make you understand that in a relationship, people represent something for you. It's not just about them, it's not about you, it's always about your personal spiritual growth. Always. I went through a year of being in my head quite a lot because we had so many works done in the house, and I kind of forgot myself again, lost myself again. And if Sadie cannot find me, she's looking somewhere else. And there's nowhere to find me because I wasn't, like, I lost myself. I'm telling you, I went through a lot this year and things that you don't even see on this channel. So if she doesn't find me, I am lost. She's going to look for that somewhere else, obviously. And I understand that totally. I don't blame her. Do you plan on living separately or do you prefer to stay roommates for the near future? We plan on being roommates for the near future. No separation, no physical separation. If not for the physical incompatibility, would you still want to be together? Yeah, we are working right now on understanding the physical compatibility, because for me, physical incompatibility is bullshit. What we felt at the beginning, we can feel it again. Like the physical is something very superficial. If you don't have certain bases, if you don't create a ground where to meet again with that person, the physical will reflect that. And this is what has been happening. That's the truth. Both of us are alphas, it's not working. That's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, just trust me. Because there are no roles in physicality, in spirituality. There's no roles, okay? At least that's my opinion. Have you tried couples counseling? Also, have either of you made attempts to romance the other? And I don't just mean sex. Once again, the romance comes naturally if both people are present to each other. If there is one person who is present, the other one is flitting away, then you're left with nothing to work with, right? And that's most of the cases. That's the core issue of this relationship. Do you dress up to surprise the other one? That's a nice and cute question. I love it. Yeah, we dress up in our own ways, I guess. Not so often, but again, that's just a cute thing to do. We don't do that often. Maybe we should do it, I don't know. But it's not the main point, I mean. Do you do little things for one another in order to keep the spark? It isn't just a matter of not feeling attracted. One must do things to cultivate that attraction after a while. And yeah, it's totally true. There are things that can be done to cultivate, but you have to feel it. That's the thing. You have to feel it. So it should go deeper than that. When you are mindful on a daily basis that you are around a human being, and you tap into that human being, into feeling the human being, then these things that you guys are suggesting come naturally. You know, you feel them and they come naturally. How do you adapt to not being partners and being friends instead, without the toxic, jealous feelings? That's interesting. There's no jealousy in this relationship. I don't know about Sadie towards me. I know me towards Sadie, there's no jealousy. I need some help here. Can you please come?
Well, I think the transition from intimate partners to friends happens like over a prolonged period of time. That's why I was saying, you know, we've been going through this for a while, it feels like. So if we were super intimately connected and then one of us was having a crush on somebody else, then maybe feelings of jealousy would be the natural byproduct, because, you know, you want to keep that person all to yourself.
I feel that it's also about unconditional love, which is a characteristic of true friendship, where there is that element that helps with the process as well, I think.
Okay.
So, how are you both going to feel when one of you or both find someone else? Well, for me, it happened. Like, that could have been the someone else. You know, your crush could have been the someone else, because that's the closest we went for one of us, you know. And I know how it felt. And the main feeling was sadness for the possible loss of this attachment. That's the best I can put it. So it's almost like, what if this person is not going to be around anymore? It's almost like losing a person to death. Like this person is dying and it's no longer around. And that's the feeling. That's the main feeling for me.
That's why I was having conflicting feelings after that. Like, because I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know, we have such a strong, maybe some people would call it codependency, but I would prefer to call it like a co-regulatory relationship. There's something called co-regulation, where on a physiological level, our nervous systems being close to each other regulates us as individuals. And if you do some research into neurodivergent people, it can also be like categorized as a disordered nervous system. It's a disorder of the nervous system, and we both have that. So us being physically close to each other is like the best health supplement you could ever conjure up in the universe, you know?
Yeah.
Taking that into consideration, that's the reason why we haven't separated like all these years.
Right.
You know, some people were kind of commenting, I remember something like, oh, well, if you were already just friends 3 years ago, why didn't you break up sooner? Like, why didn't you move out, find someone else? There's such a strong need that we have for each other. It's more than just wanting to be together in a romantic sense. It's like we literally need each other to regulate ourselves.
Okay, so question for P. Are you interested in having another relationship, or do you feel like you still need time to heal and process all of this? Yes, I still need time to process all of this. And as Sadie said, we're still very, very attached to each other. Everything is crumbling around, but there is still this attachment. And so I'm not... and even if let's suppose that things went through, that you find tomorrow somebody else that you're super attracted to and you leave me, I don't think I would be immediately available, because I have to process and it takes me time to process stuff. But like, I remember after divorcing my ex-husband, it took me 7 years, you know. I mean, I had crushes on people and I was attracted to people, but I wasn't even ready to get into a relationship when I met Sadie. So imagine that. I mean, I have to really find the right person to really get me into another relationship, but I feel like naturally I would have to wait. Question for Paola. What happened to the emotional and physical intimacy? You always seem emotionally disengaged in the videos. Was this intentional? Did you lose interest in Sadie over time? Or was this one big misunderstanding? It's difficult to be super emotional in front of a camera for me. I never lost interest in Sadie. Never ever. Will you two still in love? Or there's another problems in this relationship? As I was saying, so there are other issues in this relationship. So again, physical intimacy is not a cause, it's a symptom. It's not that the physical intimacy is not there, everything else is there. No, there are things missing that do not make physical intimacy easy, because those things were not addressed enough that we get to a point where, of course, that aspect is missing. Sadie is not a person who is so superficial and she said, okay, I want physical intimacy, I'm gonna look for somebody else. No, even when she looks for somebody else, it's gonna take her a long time before she gets into physical intimacy with that somebody else, because there must be something before that creates that kind of environment, which is safe for her and whatever, you know?
Yeah, I would go as far to say I'm like gray sexual, which is
Yeah.
like on the asexual spectrum, but like it's where you can only be sexually attracted to a person if you have a deep emotional and intimate bond with them
Right.
first, which I feel like you are too.
Yeah, I am. How are you both going to end a relationship if you're still living together? Will one of you take the plunge and move out? Any you person, either of you is interested in, would probably find it difficult to date you while you're living with your ex. Would you like to answer this?
I really wouldn't.
Why?
I think it's too early to say. Like, I don't want to think about that right now.
Yeah, early to say. No answer. Sadie, you said that for you, things started changing at the start of COVID. Why did you wait 3 years to say anything? What do you think was your part in your relationship for a while? She waited 3 years to tell you guys, but we were discussing this forever, okay? I hope this is clear, okay?
We communicate, we over communicate. We communicate absolutely everything and more.
Yes.
Like, I tell her every little detail of every sex dream I have with everyone else all
Yes.
the time.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Sadie, this has happened before, but then you couldn't be without each other. How will it go now? Well,
I guess this person's been following us for a while. The OG.
thank you for following us forever.
Well, I think you know us more than a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like maybe you can predict the outcome of this, but we're just going through a process that's happening organically, and we're just riding the ride. Just here for the ride.
I'm gonna skip this one because I already answered.
Okay.
P, have you considered hormone therapy? Oh my gosh. Okay, people actually, say, okay, I am post-menopausal, so I don't have a high sex drive. That's true, absolutely.
That's not true. It's not true.
I mean, I don't have the sex drive. Okay, this is what I want to tell people. There are 2 types of sex drives. I didn't read this anywhere, but I just concluded by myself that there are these 2 kind of drives. Sex, like a hormone sex drive and energy sex drive. And now I'm running only on energy sex drive, not only, but because hormones, of course, after being postmenopausal, there is no more that. And I can distinguish the 2. Like, for instance, when I was with my husband, I was younger, premenopausal and young, because things were not going well and we were going towards the end of our relationship. My only sex drive was hormone sex drive. Hormone-based sex drive. There was no energy sex drive, which didn't make me want to have sex with my ex-husband anymore, right? Even if I was craving it, especially in those moments when women are ovulating and all of that shebang, all right? Menopause, it's only energy-based because, of course, hormones are not there. So sex goes on forever and ever, you guys. Even if you're old, all right? So I hope this is clear. I hope. Is it clear?
You don't need to take hormones or anything like that.
I don't
need
yeah.
Fighting against aging, especially for women, is so lame.
It's very lame, and it's very there is misconception.
It's a natural process. We don't need to fight against our bodies. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if people think that will solve and will save a relationship by doing hormone, and I have the craving, but I have no, the energy is not there. I'm not energetically connected. Then everything is missing. As I said, I wouldn't have sex with my ex-husband if it was not energy driven. There was just the hormone driven. Anyway, let's go ahead.
We already answered this one.
Thought about being in a throuple. Of course, with someone who is interested with both of you guys.
Throuple, like it's a 3-person relationship.
Everything can happen. Everything can happen. Whatever the universe puts on our path and it feels good for us, we'll take it.
I'm open to it. Somebody who can preferably cook, because we both
I'm saying
suffered that.
No, I'm saying that just in case one day we come out with a video and say, there is another person in our life. and all hell, breaks loose. And it's like, okay.
Oh, this is the last one. Have you guys looked into attachment styles, traumas, childhood wounds, love languages, and have you guys tried therapy? Many couples divorce due to these issues instead of compatibility.
We talk about these things daily, almost, like daily.
Yeah.
And we're almost like we're going through therapy, because what is therapy? Therapy in the end is investigating your soul, going very deep, your conscious mind, and be very mindful of what you feel and why you feel it. And we help each other a lot in this, actually, like daily, on a daily basis.
Yeah. And that's the end of the questions.
Yes, we hope that we answer all the questions. I'm so happy that you joined me. See you next time. And again, we really, really are touched by all of you who understand the situation, who understand us, and they can see beyond what we put out there once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a month. And we are very grateful that a lot of you are part of this community. And we love you guys. See you.